Alright, let's go. Alright, what is up, my friends? Welcome back. We have the fourth installment here of our run through the World Championship archetypes. World Championships happening, honestly, as of right now at about 5 hours. 4 hours, 3 hours? I don't know what time it is. But a couple hours. And we're going through each archetype that is played in the field. There are 5 archetypes. 4 Teamer Rex, 4 Mono Red, 4 Jeskai Fires, 3 Azorius Control, and 1 Lone Wolf there in Canister playing Jund Sacrifice. Now, in the Choose Your Champion contest, I chose Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa. Before I even knew the decks, we played Paulo's deck, which is Azorius Control. We played Seth's deck, which is Mono Red Aggro. And we played Canister's deck, which is Jund Sacrifice, yesterday. If you missed any of those, they're going to be up on my YouTube over the next day or two. And then today we're playing the remaining 2 decks, which are Javier Dominguez's Jeskai Fires. Kind of a surprise, honestly. Fires wasn't doing really well in the Star Cities, and was kind of didn't seem like a factor going into the tournament, but Fires, quarter of the field. And then we're going to play Autumn Burchett's Team Reclamation, one of the more known quantities going into the tournament. Now, of course, I would like you to check out my article on CoolStuffInc.com, since it's very relevant to this. Deck advantage, getting an edge before you start to play. Check this out at some point for sure. I'm actually really happy with this article, and all of the decks we noticed. We noticed yesterday that our blue-white control deck was not very well tuned to play against random decks on Arena, because these decks are heavily metagamed for this World Championship tournament for these 16 players. If you try and copy these deck lists and play them at your FNM, play them on Arena, you are not going to have a good time, because they are not designed for that. They're designed to beat these 16 players. And in the article, I go over what metagaming is and how it kind of works, and metagaming, how metagaming worked for me. The Players' Championship, very, very similar to the World's Field, 16 players, and how myself and Joe Asset did the same thing, where our decks weren't necessarily good, they were just good for the field. And you may be like, well, Jim, I'm never going to play in Worlds. I'm probably not playing in a Players' Championship. Why does this matter to me? Well, the reality is that you do play in small field tournaments. If you ever play in a local event, you have your local FNM, your Tuesday night Modern, whatever it is. Maybe it has 16 players. Maybe you know most of them. Maybe you know what they like to play, right? So how to metagame at your local events, how to metagame at local tournaments or larger tournaments, how to metagame online, how to gain deck advantage, bringing the right deck to a tournament. So pretty happy with this article, I'm not going to lie. Check it out, CoolStuffInc.com, deck advantage, gaining an edge before you start to play. Very relevant to what we're doing here, playing these Worlds decks. So, cool. Dr. Fox, resub, welcome back. All right, so Jeskai Fires, a deck that was the best deck in Standard for a while, and it kind of totally fell off. And it didn't really gain a ton of new stuff from Theros Beyond Death, except for Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler is obviously a huge, absurdly good win condition, but for the most part, this is just the same deck as it was before. Sphinx of Foresight, Fires of Invention, Teferi, Deafening Clarion. Of course, our goal is to play Cavalier Flame for free with the Fires in play, give it haste. Giving a Dream Trawler haste does seem pretty sweet. And, we have some value lands here, a couple Castle Vantress, just a Fires deck, honestly, nothing really too crazy. Sideboard's got 1 Devout Decree, 1 Disenchant, 1 Tithe Taker, 1 Aether Gust. And of course, there are 2 main deck Aether Gust here. Kind of an interesting choice as well. It is certainly good against Reclamation, but dead against Paulo's blue-white control deck. Obviously very good against Mono Red, but not as free as a card like Mystical Dispute in the main deck. But Disputes in the board, War Boss in the board, Clarion, Shadow of a Sky, Conquer's Death. Just a pretty standard-looking Fires deck. Honestly, very surprised to see this deck being a quarter of the field at Worlds. But let's battle and see how it goes, and see what Javier Dominguez, our current world champion, is up to. Yeah, I mean, aside from the main deck Aether Gusts, this deck feels pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy here. No major strategic deviations. Unlike Seth Manfield, who played 0 shocks in his mono red deck, or Paul Vitor Damarosa playing a lot of weird like Thirst for Knowledges and stuff in his blue light control deck. I mean, I hope they're playing creatures, but we're gonna keep this. The Wenber, former resub, welcome back. All right, so we're gonna go Temple. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should actually Sacred Foundry first. We have 3 tap lands here. It's actually pretty awkward. You know, we're gonna Castle first. So I want to Temple after I see what they're playing. I have better information on my Scry. We can still shock this in and cast the Clarion. Okay. Speaking of Javier Dominguez, there he is. Alright, so we drew an island. Definitely want to set up for a nice Clarion here. We're just going to Scry. And Bone Crusher isn't really good against them, but I think I'd rather just look for lands and fires. We have double Deafening Clarion and a Bone Crusher. We're pretty well situated on that front. Javier Dominguez holding his World's Trophy. Runaway Steamkin. Sacred Foundry. So we're just gonna fire off the Clarion here. Part of that, the reasoning for that is that I don't want to get annexed next turn, which make my Deafening Clarion worse. So it's also possible they could like go nuts with their Steamkin too. So great job on the preview coverage. Summers, what are you referring to exactly? Like doing these, like what you're seeing right now? Yeah, we've drawn a lot of Deafening Clarions. I guess we're just gonna play a tap land as they go. Now they missed a land drop too, so Scorch Spitter, sure. Alright, so you could fire off Clarion again and have Bone Crusher Giant up. Cavalier of Flames. I mean, usually you want to fires that in, but just hard casting it's certainly fun. It is World Championship. See, back when I first started playing Pro Tours, Worlds was actually just a Pro Tour. I played in the 2006 World Championships in Paris. It was actually held inside the Louvre. It was insane. And it was just a 400-person Pro Tour, basically. That was the one where Paul Vitor got drawn out on by... Oh, who was it? I forget who it was. Maybe it was some Japanese player, I believe, who miscounted their mana with Dragonstorm and had to repeal into the case like Rite of Flame. It was sick. Alright, so we're gonna just kill this. It's fun. That was Modern didn't exist back then. That was 2006. So it was standard and extended, I believe, was the format. And I think there was a draft portion also. And yeah, I didn't do too well. I needed to get like 2 points above the minimum to make gold that year, or the equivalent of gold. And I was unable to do it, unfortunately. That was my rookie season on the Pro Tour, back when I was playing Pro Tour events. You did. So I'd imagine we have a pretty good mono-red matchup here with the Fires deck. Just these Clarions, this great top end. They conceded while the Cavalier Flames was going, so there's the audio bug where the fire continues to crackle. That's good. Alright, we're going to bring in Devout Decree, Aether Gust. It's the extra Clarion. I mean, Justice Strike is, like, fine, I guess. Maybe we should cut a Shimmer. Artefaries aren't great. Makihita Mahara, correct, yes. Oh, Mahara won Worlds that year, too? So sick. That was so sick. Alright. We're going to shave down on Cavalier of Gales. And that burning sound is really annoying. I kind of don't mind Tithe Taker. Just early blocker. About to create Aether Gust, Bone Crusher Giant. We could like shave a Teferi or two. I don't think the Teferi's like super awesome against them. Shatter's unnecessary. The 4 Clarions are playing in the spot where we're playing. I'm not playing a Tithe Taker. It's kind of weird, but we are doing Team Reclamation and Fires today. Correct, Coco Fang. We did Blue White, Mono Red, and Jun Food yesterday. And again, those are all on the YouTube. So Blue White tokens in draft. Yeah, I'm pretty mad that they're like turning off ranked draft for Theros. I keep wanting to do Bronze to Mythic, but whenever I want to go do it because I have time to do it. They just like don't have it available as a format. It's just ridiculous. How do they not have the current set as the draft format all the time? It's unreal. Unreal. Hard casting a Rimrock Knight. Powerful play here. Yeah, Meguchi getting the game lost is pretty stupid. I agree with that too. They need to... That's some growing pains of WotC kind of trying to figure out smaller esports events versus larger tournaments. If it's a 400-person Pro Tour, yeah, you gotta get the game lost there because you can't track everyone. But at a smaller 16-person event, you should be able to fix stuff like that. He just misread a card in his draft deck that was drafted offline and not on Arena because you can't draft on Arena yet. And he called the mistake to attention himself, and they gave him a game loss rather than just fix it. Like, no intention, no foul play. That's kind of weird. I guess we have a Tithe Taker in play, so... Alright, we have this Clarion we want to use for sure, but I like to use it after they cast Bone Crusher Giant, so we're just going to chill here. Yeah, pretty wild. So we'll take one here again. This is fine. This matchup seems really, really good. No, in a large tournament, that's against a game loss. Okay, so obviously Annex is pretty annoying because it makes our Clarion worse. I think we're just gonna Teferi it. I'll just get Sphinx of Foresight, honestly, instead of for even better Clarion. You know, actually, we're gonna Aether Gust this. Just buy a little time. Cast Sphinx next turn, set up for Clarion. Correct. So they actually drafted the decks last night in paper. I assume that they wanted to have the actual draft on Arena, and they were working on having that feature available where you can actually draft with people on Arena rather than bots. I'm sure they just didn't finish it in time. So as a workaround, they just like drafted in paper, and they're importing the decks to Arena and then just playing the matches on Arena, which is like not ideal. It's definitely interesting because they can like, you can't watch the draft live, but they can like recreate it and do some cool coverage stuff, hopefully. But definitely a workaround. So, you know, they're working that around. It feels kind of bad. They're planning pod drafts for the first half of the year. That'd be great. Is Magic Coverman? I could run a good covers man. What do you mean? I could do good coverage. I mean, something I'd like to try at some point. Pretty sure they have a pre-recorded drafter for each pod. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, sure. So, I imagine they're starting a draft today, too. So, coverage starts in a couple hours. Aether Gust on the stack. Targeting Annex Hardened in the Forge. A legendary creature. Legendary enchantment creature demigod. With the ability, devotion, power. But yeah, pretty dumb, you know. Who's gonna get the game win? If Meguchi got the game loss, everybody plays against round one. You know? Everybody plays against round one. Game loss of the first match. Definitely sucks. Aether Gust on your annex, if you must. On the top or on the bottom, you decide. What is the bottom? Now I got him. Watch out. Here comes the Aether Gust. Yeah, I mean, I think that part of judging is intention. And, you know, if there's clearly no intention or possibility of foul play, you know, like, I mean, it used to be, it's much better now than it used to be. Back in the day, you, like, looked at a judge wrong or looked at a game state wrong, you would get a game lost. Like, back when I was playing PTQs, when I first started playing in, like, the mid-2000s, you hear Patrick Sullivan talk about this a lot on coverage, on the SG Tour coverage, and me and Pat like to reminisce. One night, I don't remember where it was, I think it was Charlotte, me, Pat, and Ross Merriam were at a bar, just, like, regaling stories, you know, just drinking late into the night, regaling stories of old PTQ shenanigans. But, you know, if you ever heard the Humpus Wumpus story, Gerard Fabiano was playing a PTQ in the early 2000s, and he played the card Demonic Consultation, which is a card that says, name a card, you like keep flipping cards till you get it, whatever. That's not really important. And he's in the finals of the PTQ, and he says, I want to name Humpus Wumpus. And the judge goes, what is that? That's not a magic card. And he was intending to name Hunted Wumpas, which is a 6/6 for 4. But he kept saying Humpus Wumpus, not Hunted Wumpas. And the judge was like, that's not a magic card. And Gerard's like, it's the 6/6 for 4, comes into play, they put a creature into play, Humpus Wumpus. And the judge is like, you have not named a legal magic card. So they wouldn't let him name it, he had to name something else. You know, like, just prison rules back in the day. Just straight prison rules. Like, you, I have to think of more stuff, but just ridiculous things you get game losses for that were just very, you know, I think that, a player in, like, the top 8 of a major tournament, like in Worlds or whatever, like way a long time ago, maybe even late 90s, kept announcing spells before tapping his lands, and they kept giving him warnings for it, and they gave him a game loss. Is that why Gerard angle shoots everyone? Gerard doesn't angle shoot. Gerard is just, maybe he angle shoots a little bit, but let's not talk about Gerard. I've known Gerard for a really, really long time. He's a good dude. He just likes to, he wants things played by the rules, but he goes over the top a little bit sometimes. Knowing the name of the card was part of using the card, it seems okay. It's, now you can just describe a card. You can say, oh, you know the Planeswalker, it costs a blue, white, and 1. Your opponent can't cast spells when they cast sorcery. It minuses to bounce things. It pluses to make it so you can cast that for instant speed. If I say that to a judge, they'll say, oh, Teferi Time Raveler. So you're allowed to be able to just describe the card rather than have to know verbatim the name. Yeah, the announcing spells thing, I don't know what the rules even were back then, but it was like a ludicrous game loss. Alright, so it looks like they're playing Reclamation, so our Teferi is going to be really, really important. We already have fires. We're going to shimmer here, though, and look for, like, a Cavalier, try to end the game quickly. I guess Sphinx is okay. We don't have land 6 or 5 right now, but that's fine. Yeah, Scooter, that's a good one. So, a good friend of mine, Brad Carpenter, former teammate of mine, was playing in the finals of an Open. His opponent was playing Grizzle Shoal, like the Grizzle brand Nourishing Shoal deck that wins by putting Borgarigmos Enraged into play and pitching all the lands at you to kill you. And Brad played a Pithy Needle and named Borigmos with it. The problem is that Borigmos, just by itself, Enraged, is a different magic card. There's a magic card called just Borigmos, and there's a magic card called Borigmos Enraged. And his opponent, next turn, combo killed him, put Borigmos Enraged in play, and started killing him. And Brad's like, what are you doing? I have a needle in play. And his opponent was like, well, you have a needle in play naming Borigmos, not Borigmos Enraged. And that's a tough one, because like he literally just named a different card. His intentions were clear, but I actually think that's fine. I think that's like not really out of the realm of things, because he did name a legal magic card that's legal in the format, and while his intentions were clear, That one's kind of a clear cut where there wasn't any Humpus Wumpus shenanigans. He literally just named a card that was legal in the format. But all right, so they have bounced my Teferi. They have a Euro. They have 3 lands. Probably should play some Magic here. We're gonna ship Fires. Let's see what happens. The old Humpus Wumpus. There's definitely, it's a gray scale, So they're going to counter my Fires. All right. Didn't you say something like the one in your deck? I don't know. I don't know the full story on that one. I've only heard it, second and third hand. But, all right, hopefully they don't find Reclamation here. That would suck. Bottom is good. What is angle shooting? So angle shooting is essentially trying to manipulate the rules in your favor in a way that's kind of uncouth. For example, in baseball, I love this play actually. When the first baseman, the pitcher throws to first base to try and check the runner, so he make sure he doesn't steal, and the first baseman fakes the throw back to the pitcher while still holding the ball. The runner takes his lead and he tags him out. That's angle shooting. He didn't do anything illegal against the rules of the game. It's kind of against the spirit of the game. The problem is it's a very, very ambiguous. It's an ambiguous thing where, what is angle shooting, what's not angle shooting. Very, very. It's unclear. Yeah, Pith and Yield naming Underworld connections, sure. Angle shooting is trying to trick your opponent into making mistakes like that, or trying to jump on any minor technicality your opponent makes for your advantage. So we're gonna, I guess, Fires again here and try and get the Teferi in play. We have another Thassa's Intervention. God. Alright, well, that's pretty annoying. I don't think playing anything but Fires is reasonable. Alright, so Teferi again. Alright, so Brazen Borrower resolves. Teferi resolves. And we're going to plus Teferi and kill Brazen Borrower. Having a Teferi in play is Reclamation most important thing. Angle shooting sounds like fair cheating. That's a pretty good way to put it. And the thing is, it's very, very gray. Say something like for example, a friend of mine a long time ago, Sean Faber, used to play PTQs and stuff back in the day. We used to team together. This is 20 years ago practically. And one time he was playing a PTQ. It was extended, and he went for a combo out of his combo deck, and he said to his opponent, "Show me the Force and I'll scoop," because he couldn't play around Force of Will. So his opponent shows him a Force of Will, and he scoops. And then after the match, his friend was like, "So did he have a blue card too?" That's kind of angle shooting, where maybe the guy had a blue card, maybe he didn't, but is it he showed him a blue card, so. All right.
I have a plan.
I think we're pretty interested in just getting Cavalier. Actually, I can't cast Cavalier yet. All right, we'll just cast Ken with an attack, I guess. We'll keep the land in our hand, discard a Cavalier. We could also just go Crusher and Sphinx. Although I could do that next turn and give something haste. Yeah, let's just play. What a terrible tap. So 4 for that. Haste 3. Is everything haste? Yes, we want to play a land here. So next turn we can go Bone Crusher, Sphinx, and give both haste if I draw a land. What's sort of his combo? Menguchi getting a game loss for the Reg error and how things used to be prison rules and stuff. Alright, so they play a Euro, which is certainly annoying. Lucky. Yeah, better lucky than good, right? Just casual main deck Aether Gust. I would say this is probably a bad matchup for this deck, but Aether Gust is one of the better cards you can have, so... Storm's Wrath again. And Dragonfire. Alright. They're cooking here. They're cooking. They're at 12. Well, there's our Cavalier Flame. Golf, resub. Welcome back. Thank you. If you haven't followed the stream with that follow button, of course, watching on YouTube, make sure you follow on there. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me on the eve of this World Championship. Zibby says happy Valentine's Day from Zibby. Happy Valentine's Day from Zibby. Oh boy, they had an explosion on Cavalier for 5. That is really bad for us. Never mind, they're dead. No, we're not. We're one short. God, it sucks. One short of killing them. Girlfriend and I broke up. I think you're going to reservations alone. I mean, you could see if there's any lucky ladies in your area who are in a similar scenario, right? You know, you still got time. What is it, noon? You got like 6 hours to get on Tinder or something, or make some phone calls, you know? Don't let that reservation go to waste. Seven hours. Oh, hell no to Tinder. I mean, listen. You know, you got to cast your net. Just because the waters ain't so great doesn't mean you can't cast your net. If Tinder wants to sponsor me, they're more than welcome to. I actually had some, it was like some dating company something. Kind of like help nerds. You know, are you a nerd guy who can't get a date? Let's show you how or whatever kind of thing. Messaged me about a sponsorship for the stream, and I turned them down. They were too creepy. I just didn't like it. Take one of the boy. What? I take a friend? Yeah, just go. You know. I'm sorry to hear about you and your girlfriend. Hopefully, it was a. You know, I mean, I don't think all breakups are necessarily bad. You know, if it wasn't a good relationship and so on and so forth. You know, people change, etc., etc. But all right, so we're gonna just fire this in, and fires Passage. I mean, we can now haste attack and put them to 3. That's not very good though. Sure, Ian. Yeah, I mean, I think breakups are honestly often a good thing because most people aren't made for each other, you know. So, or slam a bunch of Molly and have a personal date night. Whatever works for you, you know. I guess we're gonna ship the. Shipping fires feels weird, but I don't have another mountain, do I? Oh my god, I have no basics left. That is the sickest thing of all time. Alright, well, that blows. Am I playing a DreamHack? I have no idea. Folks, I never know when I'm playing for a tournament until like I'm actually at the tournament, you know? Alright, well, that sucked. I probably shouldn't have kept the failed passage if it didn't do anything. We gotta focus more. We're yapping too much. Hydro Crisis for 6. Alright. I guess. Reclamation. Alright, we are super dead. I mean, they just have a million cards and we just can't do anything. This seems like an atrocious matchup for this deck. We just don't interact in any meaningful way, except unless you have Teferi in play. And they have answers to Teferi, so... Now they have 2 6/6s and we got 2 5/5s. What's up, Cardboard Cat? Cantrips. How's it going, everyone? Welcome. Can nerf buffs if you have green mana. We do not have green or black mana. We can gain 5 life, we can draw a card, we can give trample and haste. Oh look, we're dead. Yeah, I don't really like this deck very much. Not really the most fun. Alright. So, we need to board in a lot of cards because this matchup just seems really, really bad. We're going to want Tithe Taker, a Disenchant, Aether Gust, 4 Disputes, 3 War Bosses, cut 3 Clarions. Let's say... I feel like Sphinx... I guess the Flyer is good. Like Shave. I mean, I don't know what a Dream Trawler is. Got the War Bosses here. What's up, Mr. Finkles? Thanks for the resub. Appreciate that. Yeah, I guess Crusher's bad, right? I agree with that. And then cut like some of the clunkers. The Flyers actually seem pretty good. I don't think you want Conqueror's Death. It's a little clunky. I mean, Trawler sucks against Mystical Dispute, but Sphinx of Foresight is okay. It's not great. I want to cut like a Kenrith, maybe a Cavalier and a Trawler. Maybe Trawler's better. I honestly don't know. We want to kill them. We can't go late with them. Yeah, let's cut the Trawlers. Let's try this. Let's focus a little more. I mean, War Boss is the card we want in this matchup for sure. So... Oh boy, that's a hand. That is a hand of magic cards. Full house. Gonna ship the mountain. Submit our Sphinx of Foresight trigger. Leyline of Sanctity. I mean, you could just draw a million cards and beat that anyway, right? This is all the cards you want, realistically. It's just a Fairy and War Boss and a 4th land. I think we're pretty happy with this. Makes our temples worthless, but sure. Sell you on War Boss? It's my first time playing this deck, so I do not know. You gotta talk to Javier, not me. It is definitely important for us to pressure them, because if we don't pressure them, we're going to lose. We lose any long game against them. Well, they can't target us. They can just target something else and draw a million cards and then kill us. Holy crap. Wolfie Gaming, gifting subs. We got new subs. What are your names? Where are you from? Welcome, my friends. Appreciate that. Wolfie Gaming, you the bomb. Put your goobers in chat, please. Raise some hype. Alright. I think I want to actually play War Boss here and not Teferi, because if they have a dispute, I want to just stick the threat and guarantee it. I don't think Leyline of Sanctity is good. Oh, brutal. Brutal. Alright. We'll see. Wolfie, I appreciate that. Thank you. You are the #1 gift giver, Wolfie. Alright, well, there's your Reclamation. I get to untap. I mean, now I get to play Teferi, which is nice, so... That's a pretty good attack. That's not bad. Alright, so let's play Teferi and see what happens. There's your Mystical Dispute we were scared of, sure. And then I guess we're going to upkeep Aether Gust to this Reclamation. I guess you could just do it on their main phase. We'll upkeep it. Not, yeah, I want to draw it. We would draw step it if we were going to do that, but let's do it in their main phase, I guess. Brace of Borrower is basically irrelevant here. Say go. I mean, Destiny, they could just find a different target, draw a bunch of cards, and then bounce it later and kill you anyway. Like, it's not a permanent solution. Hydro Crisis as a 3/3. Okay. This is really awkward. We obviously want to keep attacking. But now they have a 3/3. We have no way to remove it currently. I think we actually should just hit the Crisis and try and draw a land for Kenrith and just try and kill them. Because the longer this game goes, the less chance we have to win. Then they just have like literal anything in their hand and we're just in huge trouble. Man, and they also get to cast it again next turn, which is pretty gross. They won't draw a land this. They have four spells in their hands. They didn't play a land this turn. Oh man, this sucks. I wasn't. Oh my god. More stuff too? So they draw Crisis, they draw a land. They had a land. I mean, I guess didn't know what turn it was. Huh. That's bad. Pretty sick. Alright, I mean, I guess just give him the old Bosky. Fire it in. Alright. World starts in like an hour or two. We got 500 fantastic viewers. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I appreciate it. Hey Jim, my friends had a disagreement on whether Thragtusk or Weather Storm is better against Burn and Green Tron. What are your thoughts? I mean, if you want a card specifically just for Burn, Weather Storm is better. But Thragtusk is a much better card overall. You'd prefer a mix. I used to put like 3 or 4 Thragtusks in one Weather Storm. Man, they just got it all. This matchup seems heinously bad. Where you been? Huh? I wonder if it's... Holy God, they're dead.
Right on.
Alright, well... I guess,
I am not making this up
I guess we just killed him. Unexpected turns of events. This matchup is so good. This matchup's insane. Just, like, so good for us. Yeah, alright. Like, we're just a slow 4 and 5 mana sorcery speed deck, and they're a instant speed deck, and we're like Teferi, Time Raveler, or Bust, but somehow they had nothing there, so we won, which is great. I'll take it. I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining. What's up, Kai? Free sub, welcome back. Why do you want Cage, Destiny? What does Cage do? Yeah, keep this. I mean, you're bringing in one card to just stop the 1/2 of 4 cards in their deck. It does not seem like a good plan. Alright, we already have Fires. Already have a Cavalier. Gust is certainly interesting, but not like... I might just want to push here. Just push all 3. I don't hate Gust. So I go land, they go land, I go land. Even Gusting like a Growth Spiral is not bad. Sure. Scry, another Cavalier. Sure. Alright. Temple number 2, or Tapline number 2, I mean. The old Bosky, like a boss. Boss is nice. I like the boss. It's good to be a boss. Make a token like a boss. I'm a mentor like a boss. Attack for 2 like a boss. Tithe Taker? That's also. Talk to corporate like a boss. Called, resub, 14 month, welcome back. You could like just Tithe Taker, just kind of set up for the next few turns. Makes them playing counter spells harder. They have like a Dispute or an Aether Gust or something here. It's pretty gross. Just play Tithe. I draw land. I want to cast Fires. Whatever. What you got? Show me something. Sure. Like to draw a Lando. Alright, so they have all spells, and we have all spells also. So pretty awkward, but that's okay. Growth Spiral. I feel like this dispute's never going anywhere. We have 4-drop, 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 5-drop. And once Fire's in the play, we can't use it anymore. I'm just going to fire myself. So basically there's like 1 blue mana, discard a card, but I think that's fine for now. Heh, great. Just what I always wanted. Another Mystical Dispute. What about Pummeler and Pioneer? It's probably pretty bad. Seems worse than the other decks. Fragile. Kind of want to just say go, because they have 5 spells in their hand. We can, if we draw land, we can play Fires with Dispute backup. Play Fires here, they just have a million ways to counter it, Aether Gust, so on and so forth, or just chill. I'd like to draw land, you know? My pick for Worlds is Polo Vitor Damo de Rosa. Alright, draw land. Wolf says, Sup Jam, we prize split round 15 of an SCG Open in DC a couple years ago. Match finished 2-1. We played for fun to pass the time. Was playing Bant Brew with eighth another Sprouts tech versus Heroic. Sweet. I have bad memory, so I don't remember everything or anything basically ever, but sounds sweet. Alright, what do you got? I mean, they have Negate, we get to Dispute. So Fires is good, but I can't cast a spell because I already cast my second spell, but we'll see. We'll see. Who's everyone's pick for Worlds? Yes, I think that Polo's control deck is very well metagamed. We'll discuss metagames in a minute here. PVDDR. Seth is a good choice. I do a poll for who picked what champion, and there's 16 choices. I don't think I have a 16 choice poll. They're gonna spend 5 mana to zap my Tithe Taker. Alright, you did. Doesn't matter what I do. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Dead, 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 dead. Boom. 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Cavalier of Flames is knocking at your door. Alright, well, they drew kind of bad, so sweet. Easy matchup, apparently. Easy matchup. They missed some land drops. They didn't do some stuff, you know? I'll take it. Devil's Fan. What's up, my friend? Was that you? Missed some land drops, you know? Hey, Destiny, what are you talking about? Look, you can win bad matchups, you know? It does happen. Alright. Yeah, this is fine. We got Sphinx. They are not all guys Destiny's side, so don't be rude. Alright, we're going to keep this. We got Sphinx Foresight. And they have Temple of Silence. Something tells me Aether Gust doesn't play. Something tells me that Deafening Clarion doesn't play either. So we're trying to keep the planes here. Ship. You got Fires, you got Cavalier, you got Sphinx. You're feeling pretty good. You got the old Aether Gust here. Probably not doing too much here, but... They took a fires. We drew another fires. Thoughtseize bug. Thoughtseize bug. Easy game. I mean, they're playing the blue omen. Okay. Okay. The thing, Coco Fang, is that it not being paper makes it. It's a little less emphatic as far as like the lightning helix. You slam the lightning helix on the table, but it gives a lot more room for the commentators to be more animated. This is interesting. Like esports stuff is usually the commentators are much more excitable and exciting. Yeah, we're in platinum somewhere or whatever. I'm starting to play arena again if you're not playing for a while. I mean, Narset's pretty annoying. I mean, we're about to fires next turn and play a 4/4. I don't want to get thought erasured. As a Cavalier. Let's do this. Like, I think Arena is definitely a better viewer experience and better overall. Alright, so we play Fires, we play Sphinx of Foresight. Am I an aggro player or a more controlling player? I tend to prefer control decks, but I think my range is pretty wide. I'll play basically anything. Yeah, like Arena's the future, you know, like as far as getting new players in, I'm all about Arena. I'm all about having Arena. I've loved the coverage of the Arena MCs. I love them. They've been phenomenal. Alright, we're gonna ship this. Arena it's just much more easy. It's easy to watch. It's more fun to watch. It has pomp and circumstance. And then the way they run the events, like esports events with lights and stages and day 9 announcing, it's just phenomenal. I think it's really, really good. All right. At what point do I sell out of Moto? I mean, I've had a card hoarder loan account for years, so I sold it at Moto years ago. Cavalier Flam on the stack. They didn't guess Narset. Sure. Fastest intervention in Esper seems pretty bad. So we can like just pay the mana here, but then I can't get haste. I think I'd rather just. You know what? I think that's fine actually. I don't want to walk into a Wrath though. This is an interesting decision here. We're gonna pay. Alright, well, that's not great, but... So if they have a Wrath, maybe another Cavalier. Yes, Arena is a much more popular thing to watch. Right now we have 500 viewers. When I play Pioneer, I have like 200 viewers, you know, so... Arena is great. Arena is great. Alright, well, this is pretty dope. I think you're just dead. Haven't done the math here, but I'm pretty sure we're just dead. Yeah. Watching a tournament on Magic Online sounds like, I don't know, watching paint drives, whatever analogy you want to use, you know? Okay, so they're like Esper something. Bringing some war bosses and some disputes. Conquers Death, Tithe Taker, Cut the Gusts, the Bone Crushers. Oh, Clarion's the... There we go. This works. Try this. What's the problem with Magic Online? Is Magic Online is simply fine. It accomplishes the task it sets out to do. I can play Modern and Legacy on my computer. Simple as that. Playing Arena is a dream. We like flip some cards up, things explode, cool animations. It's a game. It's fun. It's enjoyable, you know. I'm going to keep this. It's kind of risky, but... Mystical Dispute. I guess they have Thought Erasure in their deck, so... Yeah, it's not a great keep, but... We're on the draw against a Thought Erasure deck, and I'm pretty aggro when it comes to, keeping 7 against Thought Erasure decks, so... There you go. We should need to draw a land to turn our hand on. So, I mean, I think playing paper Magic is always the best. I would rather sit down and play with cards and shuffle over any other option for Magic. But it's not always feasible. And as far as watching Magic, I'd rather watch Arena. You know, coverage is just hard to physically cover physical cards. All right, so what are we doing here? Well, I kind of like the idea of Teferiing to defend against the counterspell for next turn. And then we can go Fire's War Boss set up for our Cavaliers. I'm going to minus Teferi, though.
I'm known for my excellent timing. That's more like it.
Sure. Sure. We're planning on playing at Sorcerer Speed anyway, so... Oh, yeah. And we get to kill with Teferi, too. That's gas. How do I get about them killing Legacy? Legacy's been dead for a decade. The reserve list means there is no Legacy. Legacy's a dream. Good riddance, the Legacy, honestly. Legacy is... whatever. Don't talk bad about Day 9 in my chat. Day 9 is the bomb. Alright? I love Day 9. Day 9 is the bomb. You did. Yeah, we're kind of crushing. I'm not going to lie. Mr. Bravado, Resale, welcome back. I will never get over the fact they use arena names that are real names. Folks, let me tell y'all something. Y'all just scared of change. Alright? Change is not bad. Just because things are a little different than they used to be, and you have to relearn something, or kind of like take things in a different way, or get a feel for something, doesn't mean it's bad. Also, R&B curtains. Anyway, back to playing Magic. Change is good. Change is good. I got Paulo as my winner. Alright, so, yeah, I mean, we kind of crushed some people, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Fires is insane. You want to know how I know change is good? Because Ross Merriam is here in chat, and Ross says change is terrible. And Ross is a cranky old man. Cranky old man. Cranky, cranky, cranky. But yeah, I mean, it's weird because I feel like this deck is like more good in a vacuum than it is necessarily for this tournament. This feels like a good deck for FNM or for Arena and stuff like that. As I said, my article on CoolStuffInc.com today, it's a good read. I don't pat my own self on the back or whatever. I go over how you should not copy and paste the world's deck lists for your FNM, for your Arena, because metagaming is a very real thing. These decks are heavily metagamed, and how to metagame, what metagaming does, how to learn from it, how to use it at your own tournaments, how to metagame at different levels, your local events, your open events. Check it out. Check the article out, CoolStuffInc.com. I like this one a lot. And look, it's me. How did this picture get in here? Who put that there? That wasn't me. But yeah, deck seems sweet. So, Javier, good luck, my friend. I definitely was very surprised at the Fires decks, but there are 4 of them, and I mean, there's certainly a lot of power in them. There's no doubt there. The question is, how good are they against Azorius Control? How good are they against Team Reclamation? That's the big question. The big question. So, that's it for this deck. We're gonna play Teamer Reclamation next, Autumn's deck. Otherwise, that'll be a different YouTube video. So YouTube folks, I love you. See you next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Please help me out. Helps me out so much. Love you.